Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to Show and Tell number 156. So, by and large, this week I really do not have a whole lot of stuff to share. We might take a quick glance at my desk and see what cards I've been working on, but really the truth is I've got 2 WIPs down here, 1 square, but I do have a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about. So, I have not had time to start my boy multi-tool review yet. It's been a little bit hectic. This year's been a little bit hectic. It's been a little off. Time has been a little thin this year. So, unfortunately, that's time. Just need a little time. Hopefully in the next couple weeks, I will be able to film something and really spend some time telling you guys why I don't like it, because I don't. Really made no bones about it when I shared with you guys I'd purchased it. I still don't like it. This weekend is the Southern Comforts Fiber Market once again. Last year I went. I will try to remember to put it in the iCard here. I will also try to make that the tagged video at the end of this video, where I shared with you guys the vendors and everything. This year, Friday, I plan on doing the same thing. I'll do a walkthrough first thing in the morning Friday, share the vendors' booths, share just pretty things, stuff like that. And then afterwards, I will go through and make my first round of purchases. As this is once again falling directly before my birthday, we may be going a little hog wild. Just a little bit. There are already some things that I've seen from some of the vendors for this year that I'm very particularly excited about taking a look at. Saturday, I may go back up just to get a little extra footage, maybe buy any higher ticket item cost things. The 2-day ticket is $8. The 1-day ticket is $5. It's not going to cost me anything to go ahead and get that 2-day ticket. So Saturday's video will probably be, hopefully, depending on what time I get back on Friday, the content I film on Friday. The video for Tuesday next week will hopefully be the purchases that I made. And any extra footage that I film while I'm there on Saturday. But I am going to have them in the description box down below. If you are considering coming this weekend, please check out the vendors. There are classes. I don't believe all the classes are full. I'm pretty excited though. I'm pretty excited to get my spin to spend on and find me some pretty new yarns. And I may or may not buy spinning fiber as well. I have had a hard time the last couple months spinning because setting up and getting situated has been a little difficult. Like I said, nothing's gone smoothly. Nothing's gone easily. That's just the way it's been. I did do some cleaning down here. Did it Friday or Saturday? I can't remember which. Sorry, my hair's a little fried on the ends. I didn't feel like curling it or anything, and I keep playing with it. I don't normally have it all the way down. I did some cleaning. I was going through the bins that are on the bottom row here. I'm going to try to tilt you without losing my camera. Those white bins down on the bottom row go all the way down the entire yarn wall with the exception of 2, I think. Nope, just the one. The one on the very end does have my alphas for scrapbooking, my alphabet stickers. And then my Premier just reaches all the way down. But inside of those bins, I have some kits. I do have, like, the ones that are up here have yarns that are in balls, not cakes or skeins, that are size 1 yarns. But there's kits, there's yarns that many moons ago, I did not have a yarn wall. So I used to store my yarn kind of like this. This is some Red Heart Sparkle or Shimmer from eons and eons ago. And I still have caked up yarns. So it's just kind of miscellaneous yarns down there. There's no real organization to it. I didn't go through and organize it, but I did go through and tidy it. I also was cleaning off my table because I'm still wanting to move it back across the room in front of the cake wall because I have my shelf kind of looking all pretty and I'd kind of like to film over there, but I need to finish cleaning out that corner. Like I said, really long year. I've been working on this all year long, along with trying to do projects and stuff. While I was poking around down there, though, I did come across a yarn that was sent to me from Jane. Probably a year and a half ago. And it's this Trendsetter montage. And this is a discontinued yarn, but this is color 1301. It's 60% polyamide, 35% viscose, 5% polyester. These are 50-gram balls, 110 yards. Okay. No other real information on there. But it's really sparkly and pretty. And I really wanted to make something with it. And as I was going through one of my other shelves, I noticed I had some black shimmery yarn. And I was like, ooh, let's pair some shimmer and shimmer. It looks soft and it looks pretty. And I only had one of the black yarns, but I had two of the grays. So that yarn just happened to be some Red Heart Huga Charm. And this was obviously purchased at clearance from Hobby Lobby for $2.49. So this is 7 ounces, 198 grams, 432 yards, 395 meters. This is the color Shooting Star. Where's the 97% acrylic, 3% other fiber, which would be the Sparkle. But I like the subtle sparkle in this, and I like the colors and sparkle in this. So I pulled up, I went looking for a pattern, and I wanted to use as much of particularly the montage yarn as possible because that's something that's really hard to incorporate into scrap projects as scrap novelty yarn. Unless you're doing one of those like just running shots of novelty through something, and that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother kind of crafting that I'm really bad at because I want form and structure and my brain wants order, and I'm not very good at chaos. But if you can find a good chaos crafter, check those things out because they're pretty awesome. So it is a paid for pattern. It's called Hugely. And it is, well, sorry, it's black and white. I don't print my patterns in color most of the time unless I'm doing color work because color ink is expensive and I'm cheap. There it is being held up. But I wanted something simple because this yarn, the montage, has a whole lot of texture to it. And this is MBK Lisa Mulch. I don't know what MBK stands for, but the pattern's by Lisa Much. Anyway, I wanted something that was fairly simple but had interest, and I was thinking a circular shawl anyway. I had 6 balls of that, so I had 660 yards, which is why I wanted 2 of the Huga Charm. And I do happen to be at the end of a row. I've been working on this since Friday or Saturday last week, so it's not quite been a week. And you can't really tell what's going on. So I'm on the second lace panel. I'm on the next to the last garter section, but I don't want to lose everything off my stitches here, but that's where we are. And now that you can kind of see what it looks like draped out, this is the bottom is the top edge. So it'll be worn like that. But look at the fabric it's making. It is much chunkier feeling worked than I thought it would be. This is on a size 13 knitting needle. I like the way it's going. I really love the colors. I hilariously was thinking I need a brown, and I'm thinking more like a tan maybe, or taupe tone shawl. And I need a gray shawl and a black shawl because, and eventually I probably have to make a white one too. I don't have any neutral color shawls. Everything I have are colorful. So I really probably should have just worked the hygge, but I was inspired to work with the montage. So I'm on my 4th ball. So I have 2 balls left. I'm getting everything stuck together in here. But I'm really enjoying how this is turning out. I really love the texture. I don't think I'm going to block this because I like the chunkiness of the eyelets, and the eyelets are holding themselves more than open. You can see based on how the stitches are showing up on the needle, how the gauge is working. So I'm digging it. I like the way it's turning out. The problem is the basket I'm using is actually a very, very recent acquisition. We received a beautiful gift basket of treats for Troy's convalescence. And it was shallow, which is what I wanted. I wanted something shallow to put these balls in while I work them up, because these tangle real bad if you don't just let them breathe while they roll around. But you don't want them to get too far away from you. So I wanted something shallow and something wide, because obviously this was going to be fairly large, that I could put the stuff in. Well, Pippin loved it when we first got it, so he kept trying to steal it, and then I put my stuff in it thinking, okay, it's overflowing. He won't lay in it. Well, you'll see in the pet tax at the end of the video, clearly I was incorrect, and Pippin decided this was the perfect place to be. So for 2 nights, I have been unable to work on that. Last night, I finally said forget about it and went and grabbed my diamond shawl. And I at least got to work on this a little bit more. I have been using this more as like my bedtime project. This is the same shawl I showed you guys last week. I had 3 hanks of the Lion brand Heaven yarn, hand-dyed Heaven or something like that. And this is just the diamond shawlette pattern. I will leave that in the description box along with the Hugely link. Once again, I don't think I'm going to block this. I kind of like the way this is falling on itself. Now, if the edge curls, right now it's curling because I keep rolling it up. But if the edge does curl down here, I will hit it with a little steam. But because this is 100% nylon, it does need to be steam blocked instead of just laid out flat to dry. But it does have the bias edge, very subtle bias edge. It's so light. Even when it's done, I've got 2 of the 3 skeins already in here. As a scarf, it would be perfectly acceptable, but I'm hoping it's just wide enough to use as a wrap. I've got 6 more rows left in the yarn, I think, as I just felt some stitches pop out. But I think I have enough for 6 rows. So 6 rows will buy me another 2 inches. 3 inches, 3 inches unblocked. So that'll at least get us to here, which just gives me something just over the shoulders. Nothing huge, nothing big, not oversized like I keep doing everything else that I make. Just a normal shawlette size. But if nothing else, like the other one, it can very easily be used as a scarf. And I like useless scarves. Just saying. I wasn't a fan of them when they were popular in the early 2000s, but I do kind of love them now. Trust me, as they get more popular, I'm going to be like, I don't like them anymore. And I don't have who. It just says Esther. Oh, it's All in a Nutshell Crochet is the designer of the Diamond Shawlette pattern. And I was using another of my Tirato mini bags to hold my skeins. So the other things that I took upstairs, well, first off, my one lone granny square. I have another one almost done. Almost. So the other yarns that I took upstairs to be contenders for my next project to work on. I took the large rainbow Hobie skein upstairs, but I'm thinking one of those stair-steppy shawls. I've done a couple of them. I'm thinking one of those with that now. Not that I don't keep already making those. One of you guys suggested a shawl that has eyelets in it, and I replied to you and told you I did that when I was reviewing the Southern Skeins 2-skein subscription box. That's also one of the shawls I've considered doing again with that yarn. But I think I already have a rainbow shawl very similar to that with yarn that I got from KB Fibers, Karen over at KB Fibers. So I'm running into the problem of I don't want to make something I already have or very similar. That's the problem with all these bright colors, though, is I do have a lot of things that are similar. I also took up the Premier Wool Select yarn that I said I wanted to compare to the Lion brand Woolies. So I do not have a new skein of Woolies. I am going to go purchase a new skein of Woolies, but it is a yarn that for many, many years I have used regularly. I've used it pretty regularly now for probably about 12 years. I don't prefer 100% anything fibers generally. I do prefer a blend because I think whether it be a wool nylon blend or an acrylic wool blend, or I think that the cotton blends, I really enjoy the cotton acrylic blends. I think they tend to be a little bit more durable. The degradation of the appearance, you know, through pilling or warping or stretching, I think when you use a blended fiber, a lot of those tend to be limited, especially if you're not like, I'm not a huge 100% acrylic garment person. I prefer something that's going to help a garment breathe. I don't like feeling stagnant in my clothes. So I do prefer, you know, as much as I love things like the Premier anti-pilling yarns, they make perfectly fine sweaters. They really do. But that's the kind of thing that I would wear as like an outerwear sweater only, just to toss on. Or something like the Campfire Cardi, where it's, you know, the holy granny square pattern is going to let your body off gas just a little bit. If you live in a humid climate, you understand what I'm talking about. If you live in an arid climate, that's probably not something that is a huge deal for you and something you really encounter a whole lot. Whether it be a dry arid climate or a wet arid climate. But here, you know, 32 can feel like 15 because of the humidity. It just cuts through your clothes. But at the same time, if you start perspiring in your clothes, you feel even... It's just an unpleasant feeling. So anyway, I do prefer the blends. So I've used Woolies a lot in garments. I've actually, the sweater I frogged last year because it was too big. Once again, seems to be a running theme for me. That was using a Woolies yarn. So I do want to test how I feel about the Wool Select from Premier versus the Woolies. I've been told though, after they released the hand-dyed Woolies collection, Lion brand changed Woolies. So that's why I need to buy some new Woolies to check, because obviously most of my big box things that I have purchased have either been directly for a review, and I bought just enough to review. I've put them in giveaways, or I have you know, one or two to finish a project. I haven't, you know, like when I was doing the Harry Potter scarf, I wanted the copper tone for Ravenclaw versus the blue and silver combo. So like I bought the extra skein for that. But big box yarns, I haven't been hoarding. For the last year, I've really been getting a lot more of the Knit Picks yarns, wool yarns. I don't know why. The higher end cotton yarns, the Pima cottons and stuff. And I've done a lot of hand-dyed yarns. And I've been getting some more, you know, slightly more interesting yarns. Not my standard acrylic yarn. I mean, just yarn that everybody knows and recognizes as yarn. I've been getting more interesting things, different things. Spending more time specially picking yarns that I'm using. I'm not turning into a yarn snob, but at the same time, like, clearly I have a lot of one style of yarn. I don't need to buy a whole lot of this. I'm actually considering doing a sale of some of the yarns that I have that are like the discontinued things that I know. There are people who have asked, you know, whether or not they can buy one or two skeins of like this one. This is the Lion brand Vanna's Choice Autumn Prints. And I have extras. So yeah. I took that upstairs. I also took the wool balls, and I can't remember what those are called. It's like Yes Please or something. I got these 3 balls of the super wash to do a shawl with, and it's 3 colors that I want to do a shawl with. So I took those upstairs to work on those. So we have the Hobie yarn, we have the 2 Premier yarns, and I think that's all I took upstairs to kind of focus attention on. So yeah, those are on deck. Both of these shawls should hopefully be done by the next video. They may be done by the weekend. I don't know. The crochet is a lot faster for me than knitting is. I am a slower knitter than I am a crocheter. Not to say that I'm particularly slow at either one, but this is going a lot faster. There's 75 ounces or 75 grams in a skein of that. Oh, 75 ounces. That's a lot of yarn. I probably worked 60 yesterday after dinner, just between finishing dinner and feeding the cats last night. So it does take me, and we are to the point, like my rows are getting ridiculously long, but I do have 2 garter stitch rows, 10 lace pattern rows. It's 2 row repeat. So 10 rows on the lace pattern. And I am going to add garter on the bottom under the last lace panel, the 3rd lace panel, until the montage runs out, because I have more hookah charm than I have the montage. So I'll be able to do that. I can just go until it runs out. I might even double up on the gray on the final row just to not have anything that can snag on that final row. But that's tomorrow's problem. Today I just want to work on it. I don't think there's really anything else to share other than I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited about what is coming up, what my weekend holds for me. I will not be buying another spinning wheel. I will not be buying a weaving loom. I have the Amazon points to buy a 32-inch width stand rigid Haddle Ashford loom from one of the sellers that sells on Amazon for free. I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon, and I've been saving my points up. So I won't be doing any of that anytime soon, but that is on my... I do want to learn how to weave, because I think I'm going to get more use out of my hand spun yarns weaving than I will crocheting and knitting them. As much as I love the texture that they knit up in, I'm always terrified to use them in that way. I don't know why, but I am. but I love the texture of hand spun yarn in weaving. So the next thing on deck to learn will be weaving, and I will be buying a 32-inch Ashford rigid head loom. Just not this weekend. And I do have 2 spinning wheels that I enjoy. Grumpy Old Man, by the way, is doing fantastic. That wheel spins amazing. So I still say best like rando purchase I've made at any type of craft show. And he really nice fine yarn. That wheel spins excellent. He's just a little temperamental. And then my castle wheel's still working perfect after the wonderful Sue fixed it for me. And all she did was like, hey, it's working fine. And I feel like an idiot. So, but they spin very different fibers. I'm very glad to have both because they do spin very differently. I'm very excited to see what the Alpaca lady has, the one that I bought the blue speckled from. Like, I'm really excited to see what she has because she had some purples last year that were really pretty. She had some pinks, she had some blues. I'm a little bit more adventurous in purchasing fiber, so I do want to keep my eyes out for Christmas and a Halloween fiber to spin. So there are certain things I do have like circled, like I kind of want to find X. Last year I bought a really beautiful Halloween set from Apothecary. I can't wait to see what she has. I stayed clear of her Etsy site for the most part this year because I could go like stupid buying stuff from her. And you guys know, or hopefully you know, hopefully you're watching her. Hopefully she said something. I know she's posting all over Instagram about it. But Erica from the Lopsided Crafter will also be there as a vendor. So we'll get the inside deets on like how it was to set up and stuff. Because I can just be like, hey, Erica, what was it like? I'm very excited to see what she has. She has been doing some themed sock sets, which are pretty awesome. You need to go check out her Instagram. Love the Mac set, mostly because I love the inspiration picture, because that's kind of what I looked like in the 80s. Just saying. Anyway, I'm going to stop yakking. Somehow I did manage to hit almost 30 minutes talking mostly about that shawl, and then just like, I'm excited about this weekend. I'm very excited about this weekend. Go check out the website. Like I said, I will leave the video of where I did the walkthrough with the vendors, and I'll try to do 2 videos at the end of this. And I'll also put the video where I shared my purchases. They were 2 separate videos because it was 2 separate important things to share. And also, circling back to the Southern Comforts Fiber Market, these guys, the Meridian Millhouse, they will be there. That's where I bought this from. They're the ones that last year at the Southern Comforts Fiber Market had the acrylic spin, like fiber you could spin to feel what their fiber feels like, which, by the way, spins nicely. But my soon-to-be cardigan eventual one day yarn came from one of the vendors. They're pretty awesome. Eventually, I'm going to like get the courage to approach some of these people who truly are local-ish. That, like, I won't drive to Raleigh from Charlotte. That is just the most boring drive ever. But like driving to Asheville and Hickory is really easy and nice and pretty. And actually, I think they're in Gastonia, so they're even closer. And Troy has stuff in Gastonia he would like to do. And the lady who dries the yarn that I can never remember her name. I've got this was my one of my Christmas gifts from Troy. He remembered when we did the Charlotte area yarn crawl, which is coming up in September. He remembered how much I loved her gradient sets. And I forgot her shop name. But like, she's literally up the street. I could just be like, hey, so like, can I interview you and like talk to you about your stuff and your process and how you come up with like, because I know they have a team effort at their shop. One person kind of comes up with the concept, and they kind of like team it out and plan it out and think about things. But oh my God. See, this is one of those, like, if I would go back on Saturday to buy one of these, not day of. I'm excited. But one day I'm going to get the chutzpah to like start talking to these people and like more like, well, like, who do you focus on? What do you do? Like, how do you do this? And like, not really interview them, but like try to get more, like talk to them, introduce you guys to the actual people. I'm a little too shy for that right now. Believe it or not. I get embarrassed saying, hi, do you mind if I film your booth for a YouTube video? All right, you guys, I love you. As always, I will see you guys real soon. And actually, I will see you guys real soon because I got stuff I want to share with you guys because I know it's going to be fun. I'll see you guys real soon. Love you.